don't know what is happening lately, but there is a lot of missing children. Some of the cases are getting a little bit more high profile, but some of them are just flying under the radar. So I don't know what's happening, but I wanted to compile them all into this one video so that I can put out one video that people can watch to see if maybe they know something about these cases. So here are 9 stories of currently missing children.
Negative K, nothing further, just city camp in the corner. We've got a code 187. Officers on
the scene. Hi, welcome and welcome back to Code 187, your true crime best friends. We are your people. So today's video, it's just crazy. I feel like that we've had a lot of sad stories coming out, and a lot of them are about children. A lot of them have to do with parental abuse or murder. It's a very odd situation, and I thought about doing a video for each, but I don't have a ton of information on each of them. And I feel like one video allows people to watch all of these cases, see all of these faces, and maybe be able to notice something. So here we go with our first one. These are in no particular order, just in the way that I read about them and searched them. So yeah, we're going to start with Serenity and McKinney. This is Louisville, Kentucky, December 24th, 2020. A 4-year-old Kentucky girl hasn't been seen in more than a year. Serenity Ann McKinney was reportedly last seen December 2020 by family members. Serenity's parents are not cooperating in this. Extended family members contacted law enforcement with concerns that Serenity may be in danger. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office says the little girl is believed to be with her parents, who are refusing to cooperate. The 4-year-old has blonde hair, blue eyes, and possibly has a birthmark on her stomach, according to police. Contact the Shelby County Sheriff's Office immediately at 502-633-4324 or 502-633-2323 with any information about Serenity's whereabouts. So this first case is definitely one of those where, since the parents aren't cooperating, I feel like they're becoming the main suspects in this case. Being that we haven't seen Serenity in a year, it makes me think that maybe she is not alive. But let's still hold out hope. If you have any information, contact that number. This case is a lot like some other cases that we're going to see on this list. Now, our second missing child case is one that happened in 2019, so it's been a little while. And this case got a little bit of bigger traction, but it's still kind of flying under the radar and kind of not being in the public eye anymore. And so I really wanted to get this case out. And that is of Dulce Maria Alvarez, September 16th, 2019. Dulce was last seen at the Bridgerton City Park in New Jersey on September 16th, 2019. Her mother, Noma Alvarez Perez, had gone to the park with her daughter. Also, the little girl's 3-year-old brother, Manuel, was also there. and Naomi's 8-year-old sister, so our victim's aunt. They arrived shortly after 4 p.m., stopping first for ice cream. Naomi was only about 30 yards away from the playground, so she was kind of watching the playground right there by her child. But Manuel, the smaller 3-year-old boy, he ran up to the car crying. This was approximately 4:20 p.m. His ice cream cone was laying on the ground, and he asked where Dulce was. And he pointed to the spot where he last saw her. He said she'd run towards some red maintenance sheds adjacent to the playground. This little girl has never been heard of again, so she just disappeared. After interviewing witnesses at the park, the police got a description of a suspect in her disappearance. He is described as a light-skinned man, possibly Hispanic, about 5'6" to 5'8" tall, with thin build. He had acne on his chin. He was wearing a black shirt, red pants, orange sneakers, possibly Nike brand. He put Dulce into a red van with a sliding door and tinted windows and left the park with her. Authorities believe Dulce may have been abducted by an opportunistic predator at the park. So they think that this is a stranger abduction case, and they don't believe that her parents had anything to do with it. So this is a very high alert case. Not that the other ones are not, but this girl, as we know, in the first 48 hours is the most important, and she's been gone years at this point. And we just don't have any evidence of where she is. So if you see this little girl, she is female, Hispanic, 5 years old, 3'5", 60 to 70 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a yellow t-shirt with an image of an elephant on the front. Black and white checkered pants with a pattern of flowers and white sandals. I will put that number up here or down here, wherever I can fit it in the video, so that you can write this down. But please call the Bridgerton Police Department at 856-451-0033. Please, if you have any information or have seen anybody that looks like this little girl, please contact authorities. All right, so this next one I'm sure everyone has heard about. I've had some comments left on my videos about it. It's huge, but that is the case of Summer Wells. This one is interesting because it just doesn't seem to be matching up. Nothing seems to make sense in this case. And this happened in Tennessee, and this is a 5-year-old little girl. So, Summer Wells disappeared on the evening of June 15th, 2021. Summer came in from gardening and went to play with her toys in the basement of her family's home in rural East Tennessee. This was the last time that anyone had seen her. There has been a lot of tips, but no leads in this case. Her disappearance, like I said, is pretty high profile and very odd. Summer is blonde. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She is about 3 feet tall and weighs 40 pounds. She is Caucasian. Investigators said she was last seen wearing gray pants, a pink shirt, and was possibly barefoot. Anyone with any information about her disappearance is asked to contact the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. Summer Wells' case is odd. It's odd that she just disappeared from her own home or own yard, that she's just gone. This was kind of a wooded area, and so she could have wandered off, but this is a year now that she has been gone. Well, not a full year, but we're coming upon a year that she has been gone, and it just feels like there's just no leads. And I remember when this case broke that people were just baffled about how a child could just go missing like this. So if you have any information or have seen Summer, please contact that TBI number. This next one is starting to become a little bit of a bigger case, but it is extremely tragic. I mean, all of these are, of course, but this one just, and that is of Oakley Carlson, and this was in Washington. A missing child alert went out on December 7th, 2022. However, it is unsure when the girl was last seen. Her parents claim that they saw her on November 30th, 2021. The children may have been in and out of foster care. There have been rumors of drug abuse in the home as well as domestic violence. Oakley's 6-year-old sister apparently told a child advocate that the girl had been eaten by wolves. She also apparently said that her mother advised her to not talk about Oakley. Neither parent has been formally charged in connection with Oakley's disappearance. They have been arrested for other charges dealing with child abuse from the other daughter. The parents had not been providing medication to this child that is required by her doctor. This was a quote saying, "The medicine has been withheld for approximately 15 months. The medication is necessary for her physical well-being and puts her at risk for physical impairment and could eventually result in her death. Each parent is charged with a felony abandonment of the dependent person in the 2nd degree. A joint trial for the Bowers and Carlson, so for both of these parents, has been scheduled for April 19th. Oakley is still missing. Anyone who has seen Oakley in the last year or has any information about where she is asked to call the Sheriff's Office detectives at 306-533-8765. If you have any information about Oakley, this girl is so sweet. You see her pictures and it's just like, man. So if you have any information about Oakley, please come forward. All right, this next one I also got recommended on a live to do, but I just don't have a ton of information about it, but I did want to include it because he's so important, and that is Michael Vaughan, whose nickname is Monkey, and he is missing. Michael was last seen around 6:30 p.m. near his home on Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. Investigators believe that Michael walked out of his house hoping to find a friend to play outside with. He went to a few neighbors' houses, but never found anybody to play with. And after that, he vanished. He was wearing a light blue Minecraft shirt, dark blue or black boxer briefs that had a green stripe, and flip-flop sandals. Michael Vaughan is 5 years old and from Fruitland, Idaho. And he is still missing. The police believe this could be a stranger abduction. There were 4 people seen from cameras walking and driving in the area around that time, but police have not been able to identify any of these people. I would urge anyone who is in that area to come forward, because if they can rule out you as a suspect, they can narrow down who was there that didn't come in, and kind of narrow down who this perpetrator could be. Another possibility is that Michael just wandered off and got lost. So if you have any information, any doorbell camera footage, anything, please come forward. This is the Fruitland Police Department number at 206-452-3001. I'll put that number, sorry that I kind of messed it up. You can also do an anonymous tip at Crime Stoppers of Southwest Idaho. So let's bring these kiddos home so far. So we've still got to form a couple more stories. It just keeps going, and I don't understand why there's so many missing children right now. So this one I posted about on my social media. I try to put out some information about missing people, and this little girl was one of them. If you are not following me on social media, please go follow code 187 on social media so that you can see those flyers and reshare them. So this is Lena Sadar-Kill, and she is from Texas. On December 20th, 2021, Lena was last seen at a park in San Antonio between 4:30 p.m. and 5:10 p.m. The park is near the family's home. She was out of sight from her mother for an unknown amount of time before her mother realized that Lena was nowhere to be found. Lena has brown eyes and straight brown hair. She was last seen wearing a black jacket, red dress, and black shoes. She may also be wearing a lot of jewelry. They did a dive search but came out with nothing in this case. Anyone in the area with cameras is asked to come forward. If you have any information on Lena, you can call the Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660. This picture of Lena, hopefully I can find it, is an updated the day of she went missing picture. So she is wearing the clothes that she went missing in this picture. So if you have any information on Lena, that was that number. This case was breaking very recently, and I didn't have enough information to even put out like what was happening. The police kind of kept changing what was happening as well. So this is what I know as of this recording. Cody Bigsby, who is the father, reported his son missing at 9 a.m. on January 31st, telling police that he last saw his son sleeping in his bed about 7 hours earlier. But police don't think that that's what happened. They don't think that matches the evidence in this case, and they don't believe that the boy walked out in the middle of the night. Cody Bigsby, the father, lives at the Buckrow Point apartment townhomes with his 4 sons. He has Cody and then a 5-year-old and 2-year-old twins. He has permanent custody of the boys. There are several instances where the boys were left alone in this townhome by themselves by their father. Police are also relying on assistance from other residents. They've asked neighbors to check their yards and trash cans to keep a lookout for anything. They've also asked the public to report any sightings of Corey or Cody Bigsby in the time leading up to the disappearance. So basically they're trying to narrow down a timeline. Authorities are also seeking photos or videos from the neighborhood, including footage from doorbell cameras or security. If you have any information about Cody, you can call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. So the next story I have for you is Harmony Montgomery. Harmony's case is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's odd, it's strange. It was in New Hampshire, and this is 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery. She was last seen more than 2 years ago in New Hampshire. You heard me right. She was last seen 2 years ago. But she was just reported missing in December 2021. She is 4 foot tall, 50 pounds, with blonde hair and glasses, and she is still missing. She was known to have lived in Massachusetts before living in New Hampshire. Her father and stepmother, they're a mess. They are now in jail, charges unrelated to Harmony's disappearance. But her stepmom, Kayla, is booked on charges of cashing the checks from Harmony. So like childcare checks and stuff like that. Adam Montgomery himself had a history of drug use as well as prior violent arrest, including shooting a man in the face in 2014 during an attempted drug robbery. But Harmony was still placed in his care. Months after Adam Montgomery gained custody of Harmony in 2019, his uncle reportedly saw the girl with a black eye. Adam Montgomery allegedly told his uncle that he had bashed her around the house. The uncle said that he tried to report this abuse many times, but no one did anything. And this case, people around this case definitely dropped the ball. Harmony is still missing. We also don't know what she looks like now, because this was 2 years ago. But authorities are asking any information in Harmony's whereabouts to call 603-203-6060. Harmony's case is one that is affecting a lot of people because it is one of those parent perpetrator cases. I just don't understand how a parent can do this to their child, but we're just seeing this more and more and more, especially in the recent, couple months. Our last case is also a parent perpetrator case, and this became extremely known in the last just a few days, really, and that is of Kennedy Hoyle. Now, this one it's bad. So, February 1st, 2022, now that was just like a week ago, and this was in Tennessee. According to police, while on a search for possible stolen vehicles, officers located an abandoned vehicle on that night. After running the tags, which showed the vehicle was registered to Danielle Hoyle, officers were dispatched to her home, where her family said they hadn't heard from her. She had left the house earlier with her 2-day-old infant. You heard me right, 2-day-old. After searching the area, the body of 27-year-old female Danielle Hoyle was identified. She was located near her car and she had gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead on the scene, but the 2-day-old infant was nowhere to be found. Kennedy was last seen wearing a black and white polka dot onesie with pink pants. And unfortunately, this was done by Brandon Isabel, who is Kennedy's father. He was arrested on 2 counts of first-degree murder in the aggravated kidnapping, tampering, and fabricating evidence in connection to both of these deaths. Police said that he admitted to luring Danielle to the area and shooting her. According to the affidavit, he then took his 2-day-old infant out of the vehicle and basically drove to this boat ramp and tossed his daughter in. That was his words. He tossed his 2-day-old infant into the water, basically into the Mississippi River. Then he threw the weapon into the river, in a different river, basically. And Kennedy's body, her young little 2-day-old infant body, has not been found. They are searching for her remains as of right now. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers or 911. That Crime Stoppers number is 901-528-CAS. Now, those are the cases that I have for you today. It's really hard for me to report child cases. It's something I don't like doing, but I know that I have to do. Like I said, all of these cases, you just don't have enough information to put out a full video. So share this video, because there is 6 cases of missing children in this video that someone could see and know something and say something. So share this video, or at least share the different cases that you see. Please, please, please do that, because it can really make a difference. As I said earlier in this video, a lot of these are parent-perpetrator cases. This last one of Kennedy, they may have found her by the time this video airs. They may have found any of these kids, unfortunately their bodies or them. So I'm hoping that we can get some kids back out of all of these. But some of them, I mean, unfortunately Kennedy, who was 2 days old, police believe she's gone. Now the mission is to bring her back to her family, who are also missing and grieving over their mom. This one is just, Kennedy's case is really, really horrible. In Harmony's case, I think a lot of people believe she is gone as well, but there is hope that maybe she is out there somewhere. That's another one with a parent perpetrator. It's crazy. Cody's case, Cody Bigsby, he could have wandered off. Police don't believe that that's true. He could have. So just keep an eye out. If you know this family, just report whatever you have seen, and that will help in this case. With Lena Sadar-Kill, this seems to be a stranger abduction as well, and so this case is a lot like the other case of, I wanted to get her name right. Sorry, I'm scrolling. Of Dulce. So those 2 cases, those are stranger abductions. So keep an eye out for those 2 cases as well. With Michael Vaughan, it doesn't seem to be his parents, so he could be out there as well. With Oakley, it seems to be a parent perpetrator situation. Her case is gaining traction, and I believe there's going to be a lot more charges with her parents coming. But still, if you know anything, definitely report it. With Summer Wells, I go back and forth. Sometimes I wonder if this story isn't a little fishy, but then I also think maybe she could have wandered off. So I don't know if we will know what happened to Summer, and that is really scary. And then, of course, that Kentucky girl, Serenity, she also, her parents aren't cooperating, so I think they will be seeking charges with that. So that is what I have for you today. I'm so sorry that this was such a horrible children-related content, but I've said this before, it's super, super important to get these stories and these faces out there. So I will be seeing you guys next time. If you are interested or like any of my content, please click the subscribe button. I have that podcast coming out with Joe from The Joe Show, and we're really, really excited to be launching that within the next couple of months. So subscribe so you can get that content, that notifications of that content as well. That way you get lots and lots of true crime stuff to binge and to be aware of. And that is our purpose, is to get these stories out there. So thank you guys for listening to the stories of these children and what happened. If you have any comments to leave, please do so below. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.
They oddly found another woman's remains near her.
Okay.
So now they're like, who is this and what's going on? At this point, he covered her mouth and nose and was trying to get her to stop breathing.
Mm-hmm.
The men will annihilate their whole family and take the kids first.
The murderer or attempted murder has made a couple of mistakes, okay?
Negative K, nothing further, just city camp in the corner.
We've got a code 187.